Hi, Josh Barker with Josh Barker Real Estate. Thank you for checking out our market update for the month of September 2025. Let's kick off that report by pulling the information from the Shasta County Multiple Listing Service. So the first thing to look at is that sold report. Right now, there's 201 properties that closed escrow last month in the month of August. If you go back 1 year ago, it actually matched it. 201 properties that closed escrow last year in the month of August. What does this mean? It just means that now with interest rates kind of leveling out around that mid 6.75% range, that pricing is very consistent, buyer demand is very consistent, and the market has become much more predictable as a result. Now, some things that have changed, if you look at the total inventory right now, there's 1,029 properties that are currently for sale here in Shasta County. If you rewind 1 year ago, 799 properties in the very same month. So our inventories are up by about 30%. So if you're a home buyer in the market right now shopping for a home, you're noticing this. You're looking at more and more inventory than what you've seen in the past. And even for homeowners, you're starting to probably see on the market right now homes that are sitting longer. In some cases, you're starting to see those price reductions. So what does that mean? When you look at the psychology of things, right now our inventory is sitting at about a 5.48 month supply of homes for sale. What this means is that anything from a 0 to 3 month supply is typically what we would call a seller's market, meaning that there's a lot of advantage that a seller has because there's not a lot of inventory. 4 to 5 month supply is typically what we call a neutral market, meaning that neither the buyer nor the seller typically have very much leverage in the negotiations. And then the final side of that is that 6 months or more supply where it's really heavily leaning towards a buyer's market. Right now, the psychology in the market feels like there's a lot more inventory. It definitely feels like the neutral market is where we're sitting now, but it's trending towards a buyer's market. So something that we'll be watching much closer as we go into those winter months. Next thing to talk about is just the overall rental market. Right now, we're sitting around a 7.5% vacancy rate overall in the market. And if you're wondering what that means, if you're watching this video curious about what rents are, an average 3-bedroom, 2-bath garage with about 1,500 square feet or so is renting for about $2,200 a month. So it gives you a general idea of what those rents are looking like. And the last thing to talk about is that insurance issue. So you probably heard already, fire insurance is a bigger cost and bigger concern for a lot of folks. California has been passing some legislation recently that's trying to open up those airways, if you will, for us to be able to bring in more additional insurance companies. More to come on that here in the next couple of months. Not enough right now to report on. But in any case, if you have any other questions, just know we're always here to help. Thanks again for your time today. Have a great day.